Hello, this is Howard Owens, publisher of the Batavian. We are doing another live stream interview. We've been doing a series of interviews, though they got disrupted yesterday by some breaking news. But so we rescheduled our interview with Tammy Hathaway. I appreciate her making the change for us. She is Geneseean of the Year, and we want to congratulate her. And Tammy, there you are. How you doing? Congratulations! It's a big award.
I know. I didn't realize how big it actually is until the Howards of the world started calling. So I thank you, Howard.
Well, that's very nice. It's always, I think, it's one of the premier awards in Genesee County, or even, and also among all the chamber awards. It always goes to very deserving people, and for our audience, anybody that's out in the community and involved in anything at all is going to bump into Tammy Hathaway at some point. You seem to be everywhere and involved in a lot of stuff. Obviously I'm out covering a lot of things and see you around town a lot. And, that's a lot of time and a lot of commitment. What motivates you to be so involved in the community?
Well, I think that I identify with a lot of the population that receives in the community. And if I can help anyone not be cold or not be hungry. I know what it's like to be both of those. So I guess it's just how I'm hardwired.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you originally from Batavia? Where are you from? What's your background? What's your life been that led you up to this point?
So, well, I'm a mom and a nana. So I've got big kids and little kids in the house at any given day. And I'm not a native Batavian. I'm a Wyoming County girl. I'm an '89 graduate of Attica. And I came to Batavia probably about 20 years ago. And I shared this with the chamber. My first 2 years of living here, I cried every day. I hated it. I was from North Java, so I wasn't used to hearing sounds and noises all the time. And it took about 2 years, and then I realized the convenience and the beauty in the county, the people in the county. It's one giant family, and I really grew to love it. And I was running the Pathstone Homebuyer program and was invited to be on a committee at Habitat for Humanity, which led into being on the board there, which led to being the president. And so that's where my humanitarian efforts really started. With volunteering, was at Habitat for Humanity.
We're going to look at some pictures. I'll get this set up here, and it'll be a chance to. You're involved in so many things. I kind of want to make sure we cover everything you're involved in, and the pictures will kind of help with that. So let me get these going, and we got one little display problem here. Hold on. Okay, so Tammy, you should be able to see the pictures now. We start off with a picture of you in costume. I assume this looks like as an event at Go Art, and I know you're really involved in Go Art.
Yes. So this would be the Bid Wine Walk. We do themes, and we did The Wizard of Oz, and it only made sense that I would come as Glenda the Good Witch, and Beth Kemp is one of my dear friends who runs the bid, so I try not to let her down either.
And it's not changing here. Hold on a second.
Well, that's okay, because people want to see that crown. I made that crown on the dress, and I did get a lot of requests, can I borrow that crown? So.
Well, it's very artsy. That's very crafty. And also, I always see you out at Day of Caring.
Absolutely.
And I think even before you had your position with United Way, that's important.
Yep. And that is my Day of Caring superhero cape. I've made Susie Ott and a few others wear it about. You get so many T-shirts when you do events, and I wasn't sure what to do with all of my shirts, so I made them into a superhero cape. And that cape makes its way around town quite a bit each May.
That's great. And with COVID on, I know you're out at helping with the food distributions, and I think we're going to talk a little more about food distribution here shortly. But this is one of the distributions out at the church on Bank Street.
And these are some of my Leadership Genesee 2020 classmates. We are the best class ever. Other classes will say that, but we are the class that survived a pandemic. So we definitely are the best class ever.
And more Go Art. Was this also a Day of Caring event, or what was this?
This was I believe it was the last Veterans Day parade that we had before COVID. So we combined efforts with Go Out, which is now Glow Out, which is the inclusion organization for the Glow region, and marched in the Veterans Day parade through Batavia.
And Habitat for Humanity, you've always been a big supporter, and you worked there for a while, right?
Yeah, I was board president. Okay. So I termed out after 8 years. I took a 2-year hiatus, and I'm back as the VP of the board now. And these are some of my besties. This was a woman's build, and we did a framing frenzy, which was a lot of fun. We had not done one before, so we tend to gut houses on Women's Day or on Women's Build. And this particular year, we did a framing frenzy, so it was nice to be able to build walls and learn about jack studs and door frames and stuff like that.
Another Habitat for Humanity event.
Yep. This was our first women's build, and it was actually the first house that we had acquired through a partnership with the Batavia Housing Authority and the city of Batavia to try to get some of the foreclosed houses through tax foreclosure ingested back into the community and on the tax rolls. And that's my daughter and I. We'd run out of dumpster space. We were desperately in need of dumpster space.
I remember this night. This was, I think, in 2018, and you and Gregory were having quite a bit of fun.
We did. Christmas in the City. We definitely rock out Whoville. Yeah.
And you've also been involved in food distribution, and we got some pictures coming up here. How did you get involved with that, and what have you kind of accomplished so far?
So many of the organizations or the agencies in town will do food drives for our weekend food program, the backpack program. And when COVID hit, I got involved with the Salvation Army, and they were doing the food, and would call, and we have connections. People, the eggs. I think this is probably something I'm most famous for in Batavia right now is eggs.
You're breaking up a little bit. You wanted to start with the eggs again?
And most popular right now in Batavia for the eggs, because I would get large donations from Crayer's Egg Farm, and I would run out and I'd come back into Batavia with cases of eggs, and I would drive from pantry to pantry delivering eggs. And the same with the milk. We all band together, all of the pantries, and we were doing the USDA and FoodLink food distributions. And if there was an organization or a company who would have 200 gallons of milk and want to donate it, who's going to say no when you're in a pandemic and people are in need? So you pop the boot of the car and you fill it up as much as you can, and you run around and make sure that the pantries have everything that they need, because the individuals and families who are in need are going to be calling them. So you want to make sure they have everything that they can possibly get.
Is there this is, I believe, out at the community garden. I've seen you out there before.
Yes. So last year with the Day of Caring, we had to shut the Day of Caring down last minute, and in a knee-jerk put together some sort of event for the week. So we created the Week of Caring, and this was on what would have been the actual day. We did have a couple of little projects, and we sort of ran around and got a ton of ice cream cones delivered by Hershey's Ice Cream. So I think I delivered about 400 ice cream cones to the hospital and to the city fire department. Anywhere I could think of. I had freezers all over Batavia stuffed with ice cream cones.
And I'm not getting the right thing on the screen right now. So, have there been other things? I think those pictures just kind of touch the tip of the iceberg of what you've been involved in. Can you tell us what else you've been involved in?
I'm also on the Board of Commissioners at the Batavia Housing Authority, and that came out of the Leadership Genesee, the opening retreat. Nate Ryland walked up to me after one of the events and said, "Hey, you want to be a board member?" And I was like, "What? And housing? Of course. I love housing." And I'm on the city's Planning and Development Committee as well. So it's not that I can't say no, Howard. I don't want to say no because I like to know everything. So I like to be involved. Plus, I collect a lot of information. Some of it is probably not worth anything, but it's still fun and comedic. So why should somebody recreate the wheel if I've already done it? And why wouldn't I want to share it?
I'm just wondering where you find the time.
I don't sleep well, so I tend to stay up really late and get up early, and I do use some of that time for shoe shopping. We all know this, but yeah. And GoArt, GoArt's a nice sanctuary away from home. It's a beautiful building, and I sponsored the one gallery there under. I have a little business name, Carrot Man Productions. Gregory says I probably should have a business for it, not just use it for sponsoring things. So I told him the business is my personality.
So you for GoArt, it seemed to me that might be something that you combine both your compulsion to volunteer and an outlet because you want that lifestyle, that's a way to both relax and be involved, and enjoy something.
Absolutely. And I love the art world. Absolutely love the art world. So it's mostly selfish reasons that I'm there. Absolutely. I get more out of it. They'll tell you they get a lot out of it from me being there, but I'm getting twice as much back from being there, as with all of them, all of the organizations that I volunteer with. I get way more from them than they get from me. And in my job, Howard, I won the job lottery. I did. This is just me. I'm nice. I like to help, and the United Way pays me to do it. I mean, who gets that, right?
Well, that's great. What do you enjoy, like, on the daily basis about your job with United Way?
Just knowing that, well, I would hope that people would know if they had a need, they could call me. That I have a collection of people that I know, and there's something gratifying about knowing if someone were to call up and say that they had a neighbor who had fallen on hard times and they have children and they need diapers, they could call me, and I know I'm going to send you to Project Stork. Just that, knowing that people can trust me to know some sort of direction for them. There's something, yeah.
It would seem like it's a challenge. You have to work with so many different organizations in United Way, which means a lot of different personalities, sometimes conflicting goals or ambitions, and you've got to usher this all in a way that helps everybody with their mission and accomplish their goals. Do you find that challenging?
Sometimes, for sure. I don't have that strong analytical personality. I'm not a high D when we look at personalities. So I do struggle sometimes with those type of personalities. But I don't always recognize them either. I sort of look at everybody with rose-colored glasses. So, and I just go about it being me. They're either going to take it or not. And I think that I sell humanity. So if I just continue to sell humanity, they're going to either want it or not. And if they don't, I'm probably going to bring them some comedy to it. If I can't sell them on that, then I'm just going to go on to the next one. Who's the next person in your place? Let's talk to somebody else.
In the nomination form, and I'm not sure who wrote this, they noted that you are like a really non-judgmental person. You just accept everybody everybody as they are, and that's like an amazing trait.
Yeah, I enjoy people. I love people. You know, I have a girlfriend, Lisa Gautier from the Bank of Castell. She'll tell you she loves dogs. She's going to save all the dogs, and to her girlfriend Tammy's going to save all the people. That's like our goal. And I just do.
Yeah, that's great.
Everybody has something so interesting about them, or all these our own little life TV shows, you know. So why wouldn't you want to know that about everybody?
You know, maybe you should have been a journalist. You could have been out asking questions and learning about people.
Hey, I might have a little bit of time in the day, Howard, if you need a little spot. I could probably fit in working for the Batavian a little bit.
If you have time, I'd be pretty amazed. But you're always welcome. So, is there anything we haven't covered that you wanted to talk about?
I don't think so. I think that I mean, I'm pretty much open. I'm everything I have to say. I wear like a red T-shirt. You can see it. So yeah, no, I appreciate this. I still can't believe that I won it. There's so many great, amazing people out there, and I sometimes just roll around with comedy and great shoots.
And we kind of lost your sound there for a minute. And like anybody, this is not, you're not doing what you do to win awards. So you're out there doing stuff because it's what you love to do. And I think it's fabulous that you got recognized. So congratulations.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Great. Well, appreciate your time, Tammy. And, it's too bad that you can't get your award in person. It'd be great to see you, but I look forward to seeing the virtual award ceremony. And again, congratulations.
Well, I thank you, Howard. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you.
Thank you very much. So this is Howard Owens, publisher of the Batavian, who just completed an interview with Tammy Hathaway, the Geneseean of the Year from the Chamber of Commerce for 2020. This afternoon at 2 o'clock, we'll be talking to the winners for the Agricultural Business of the Year. So tune in then. Thank you.